So you started Conan Exiles and you've realised you've got less of an idea of what the hell to do than a priest in a brothel. Well, don't worry your little loincloths. I am here to give you a heads up. Hello and welcome to The Essential Gamer with me, Lee, and today I'm going to attempt to give you a walkthrough of the basic starting points in Conan Exiles. Because I know I started it and had absolutely no idea what to do, and I would have really benefited from someone telling me, so here I am telling you. Let's go! So to start off with the basics, the controls. You've got control pad. Up on the pad gives you a first person view. Very nice, good for getting up close and personal with turtle looking dudes like this guy. Alright bub. And pressing the button again will turn you to the normal view, like so. Left on the pad gives you your Exile's journey, which is basically your waypoints, your marker stones, your whatever you want to call it. It's keeping you travelling along the story in some part. Right on the pad will give you the map, which is controlled by both the sticks and the R1 and L1 button to zoom in and out. You get all these little pictures and things appear as you discover places across the map so that you can refer to it and know where you are. And here I am, this little arrow here next to Rusty Cow. You'll be using this more and more as you try and work your way out of the scrubland, which is in the south where you start, and try and head north to where the action is. And down on the pad gives you your radial dial for all of your emotes. So if you have friends you can wave to them, but if you're like me, a loner, you can sit on the beach in the rain. Looking to the top left of the screen, you've got all the obvious stuff like your health in red, your stamina in yellow, your drink, food, encumbrance and temperature in order. And these all have to be managed throughout the game by eating, drinking and taking care of yourself. Other controls include clicking in the left stick to sprint, which is handy if you need to get out of trouble quick. You've also got a roll with circle, jump with X. I'm literally holding your hand through the beginning of the game. X also helps you to climb stuff. Good for running away if stuff's trying to eat your ass out and you don't particularly enjoy it. It's quite satisfying climbing mechanics actually. And last of all, triangle will put you into a stealth/crouch mode where you make a significantly less amount of noise but also move a lot slower. R1 and R2 is your attacks, both light and heavy in respective order, and you can combo these together to really beat the shit out of your enemies and put your foes in the ground. L1 is your radial dial, which is all of your items selected. I'll go through that in a little bit more detail later on. And last but not least is L2, which delivers a kick in this unarmed form but will be your block if you have a shield or weapon equipped. Okay, what's next? So as we look at my beautiful house, we realise that there's some building to be done. What's that? Ah, oh, fucking Komodo Dragons. As with many of the enemies, these are a pain in the ass. A pain in the ass, as I was saying, and they will gang up on you. So you best get your wits about you. You're gonna need your weapons. You're gonna need your stamina. You're gonna need your strength. You're gonna need to do all the beheading. Yeah, chop his fucking head up. Die, you son of a bitch. You're gonna die. You too. You. Right, I'm calm now. I've calmed down, and we're gonna focus on what we were talking about before, which is building. And to build, you're gonna need materials. So, before we get to the actual building, I would recommend pausing the game and going to the settings. And from the settings, you want to go to General, Gameplay, and change the options for Show Help when building and the contextual controls. This will aid you by putting some controls down in the right hand side of the screen when you return, and thus making it slightly easier to realise what button you need to press in the beginning. And there we are. So square is interact, and you can run around tapping it like a furious crazy person, but I would prefer to hold it and see what you gather in the right hand side. You'll get different materials from different plants, so it's worth investigating all the different options. As well as plants and fibre, seeds and bugs, You're going to want to start gathering stones, which you'll be able to pick up off the floor, again by holding square, or you can frantically tap about if that is your bag. And you'll find these scattered around the lands in all different places, moving up to slightly bigger bits that you'll differentiate from the surroundings by their colour. Okay, so we've done rocks, we've done sticks off the floor, and now we're going to build some tools. So when we press the touchpad and bring up our crafting menu, on the right hand side is all the gubbins that we can make. I've got loads because I'm probably a bit more advanced than most, but not as advanced as others. To start off with, you need an axe or a hatchet, a pick, and probably like a torch and some other bits and bobs should you fancy it. So have a little play around. You'll see all the options at the bottom of the columns, and when you've crafted it, it will appear on the left hand side. From that it gets equipped to the wheel, which I'll go through in detail later, and we start hacking. Ah! As you can see, I'm gathering materials on the right hand side. Branches and wood come from using the axe or the hatchet, and if we swap to the pick, then we will actually get different materials, so we get wood and bark. It's worth investigating this as you get further down the line, and it also works with harvesting animals should you want to eat some bastard Komodo. So we've got our tools, we've gathered our materials, and now we want to make somewhere to stay. So what do we need? We need walls, we need foundations, ceilings and doors. You can make these out of many different materials. You start off with thatch, then it goes up to sandstone, hard stone, tempered brick. Eventually you get to the point where it's concrete. But to start with, we're going to go with some sandstone, which is easily made using rocks and wood. Now you equip these to your wheel by holding L1, using the right stick to select the spot and X to confirm exactly where you want to put it. And this will work with anything, as well as tools, food items, literally anything that you're going to use. This is how you apply it to the wheel. So we gathered all of our stuff, and now we need to lay it down. So first you're going to start with a foundation. If the floor is not level, you're going to need to make it level by putting one of these down. You may need to stack them if it's a particularly rough area. And then we start placing our bits and bobs. Now you can see as I put stuff down, it says outer face written on it. Now this simply means which way the item you're placing is facing, which you will change by using R2 to spin it round. So we're going to make our little shed. See, outer face. Make sure it looks nice and tidy. If you're like me with OCD, if I get one the wrong way, I have to demolish the whole thing and start again, which is most unacceptable. Okay, so we've got a little box. It's cozy. We've got a door on the front. So now we need to select it. L1, select the spot, X to confirm, and there it is. Now we can swap around which way it's facing with R2. Perfect. And there you go. One little shed. It doesn't look like much, but this will actually be more than enough to keep you safe should you get caught in a sandstorm, or even surrounded by baddies that want to eat all of your body up. I'll get the door shut. Yeah, and when you enter shelter, you'll see in the top left corner it says shelter with a little house. If this stays white and stays on the screen, it means that you are protected from the elements. Somewhere to start with, but you probably won't want to live there for too long. Okay, so now we've got somewhere to stay. We want to make sure that we return there by making bedrolls. You can make them out of fibre, you can make them out of hide, depending on what you have. And they're made the same way as everything else, and they're placed the same way as everything else. Here you see me moving it about with R2. When we place a bedroll down, your spawn point is updated. This means that when you load back into the game, you'll reappear at this spot, wherever it is. You'll also notice that when you place one, it will destroy any previous bedroll, because you can't have two spawn points at the same time, unless you want to split your ass in half. Now, with the bedroll and any other item, if you hold square on it, you come up with other options. They are dismantle, interact, you can cancel out of this menu, and you can return to inventory, which means pick it up. If you interact with it, it's the same as walking up and just pressing square in the first place. So in this case, I've just re-updated my spawn point. And now we'll pick it up so that we can use it later on. When you've picked it up, you have removed essentially your spawn point, so you must bear that in mind. Eventually you can build more permanent things like beds in your bedroom, and now if you'd like to go through my crib, I'll show you. Yeah, I know it ain't much. It's a humble abode, and you can decorate yours however you want, using different items. Most of these are crafted at an artisan table, which I'll talk about in another video, with the rest of the tables, I think. Okay, we're hungry now. We've worked up an appetite, and we're going to use one of these, a campfire. A small campfire is pretty portable, so we've already made one of them because we gathered the materials, and we're going to find a nice spot to put it out and about. And these are handy, as obviously you're going to need to feed yourself along the way, and these can be placed pretty much anywhere. So after opening the menu, you see that we have our two sections. We have our campfire and what we have on us in our inventory. We're going to move over a fuel, which is wood, some berries and some plant fibre. And this is going to cook us up some delicious, disgusting gruel. And you'll notice in the bottom left corner there is a toggle on-off button, and this will start the fire. If you put everything in and nothing's happening, it's probably because you haven't pressed that button. That's L2. So as it burns the fuel, it turns our ingredients into our final product, which in this case is gruel, which we take back, or we can use straight out of the inventory using square, or take back using R2. But in this case we're going to pick up the entire fire and all of its contents, as you can see. And in addition to what I said earlier on, when you have something equipped on the wheel and you place it down, it will stay in the slot on the wheel until you make another one or pick it up again. But you can't use it, it's just there to show you that's where the slot is. And eventually you can build bigger places to cook your food, more volume and feed more people, etc. Hold more inventory, and generally make the place look a little bit more lived in, a bit more permanent. So cooking different things will give you different end results and better healing qualities. In this case I've got some feral flesh from one of those bastard Komodos, and if you put it straight into our bellies it will give us food poisoning because it's feral. So we cook it in a fire, we turn it into something called shredded roast, and it becomes far more palatable. So again we can use it straight from this menu using square, or we can take it using R2. Don't press triangle because you'll empty whatever it is that you're looking at. I do that quite often. And then after eating you'll notice that it has effects in boosting and refreshing. In the top left corner, there it is, regenerating, and it also shows that your health is slowly creeping up with every nibble of that delicious meat. There we are then, Will. Pretty good, isn't it? You could say it's wheelie good. Hey? Hey? What do you reckon? No? Nothing? Nothing at all? Ah, fuck yeah. So there we are. I hope you enjoyed my short introduction to Conan Exiles. If you'd like to see more of these, please let me know down in the comments, and if there's anything in particular that you'd like to know, also mention that as well. I'll see you next time for more details and more fun from the Exiles. Goodbye!